Push-ups. So with this exercise, you want to make sure you're not putting your shoulder in a bad position. So the way people do that is they flare out their elbows a little too wide and they bring their hands a little too high. So as you can see, I kind of look like I'm creating a triangle because my hands are a little bit closer to my chest and I'm pushing through my chest and not from just my shoulder joint. So just make sure you focus on that so you don't put yourself at risk. Alright, so with this exercise, you're going to want a resistance band. However, if you don't have one, don't worry, just wait a couple of seconds and I'll show you a variation which does not require a resistance band. The reason why this exercise is great is because a lot of people suffer from knee pain, not because something's wrong with their knee, but typically because something is wrong with their stability in their hips that's causing the knee to collapse or be put into vulnerable positions. So working on this helps strengthen the hip so that way things like that hopefully don't happen anymore. And now you'll see the variation which I was talking about that does not require a resistance band. In this scenario, you're going to want to move your opposite hand and opposite foot at the same time. It's going to take a lot of mental strength, but as you can see, one arm is stiff while one leg is stiff and the other two opposites are moving simultaneously. It's kind of hard to say, but you get the point. All right, so with both of these exercises, you want to hit 10. Okay. All right, time to work the booty. For this exercise, it's called a one-legged hip thrust, and I want you to really focus on the mind, booty, butt connection. The best way to do that is put your hand on your glute. All right. So along with that, I want you to tighten your core and bend your opposite leg, not straighten it. I see a lot of videos where people have their legs straight, and that's fine. However, you get a lot more glute activation whenever you bend that knee and drive it upwards into the air. All right. And make sure you're not rounding your back to accomplish this movement, which is something that a lot of people do. We want you to focus on making sure that your core is tight and that your glutes are doing all the work. I don't want your lower back doing the most of the work, and I do not want your hamstrings doing most of the work. It's all about the glutes. All right. Time for some squats. All right, with this exercise, you're going to need the resistance band. A lot of people say that when they do squats, they don't feel their glutes being activated, and one way to really help with that mind muscle booty connection is to use a resistance band, because whenever you force your knees outwards against that band, it's going to light your glutes up. So if you want to really start getting more in tune with exercises that work your glutes, use a resistance band. Hip abduction. All right, this is essentially a lateral raise for your hips. You can balance by holding onto something if you need to, and make sure that you don't let the leg that's on one foot buckle, because that would not be good. So that's perfectly fine to balance on something. And I just want you to make sure that you're putting your hand around that hip glute area to make sure you're firing the right muscles and to give you that mind muscle connection. This is another great exercise to help with your hip stability and also with any lower back issues that you're dealing with by making your glutes turn on finally.